So, are you absolutely tired of having an exposed backyard? Like, you're dreaming of a lush, vibrant green wall that literally transforms your outdoor space into a totally private sanctuary? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to this comprehensive explainer. Today, we're diving into a seed to screen masterclass that's going to show you exactly how to plant, prune, and maintain a completely impenetrable ligustrum hedge. Let's kick things off with a question I think we can all relate to. Do you want a fast, resilient, and ultra-dense living privacy screen for your yard? I mean, a lot of us are chasing that perfect balance, right? We want the aesthetic beauty, but we need the functional privacy. We want something that blocks out the street noise, the wind, and, yeah, maybe the neighbor's peering eyes too, while still looking incredibly vibrant. Just picture this incredible transformation. You can literally go from having an exposed, bare yard with zero privacy to having the ultimate solution, a stunning 4-meter-tall, lush green wall enclosing your garden. Ligustrum, which you probably know as Privet, is basically the secret weapon for pulling this off. It's a phenomenal alternative to a boring wooden fence because it brings actual life, oxygen, and structural beauty right into your landscape. Okay, here is our blueprint for today's explainer. 1. Why choose the Ligustrum? 2. Step-by-step planting. 3. Secrets of a dense hedge. 4. Pest control. And finally, 5. Vital tips and regulations. All right, diving right into section 1, why choose Ligustrum, the tough-as-nails protagonist? So there are two main varieties you'll usually see out there, the garden privet and the wild privet. And let me tell you, both of these are absolute powerhouses. They are pure survivors. We're talking rapid growth of 40 to 60 centimeters in a single year. They handle urban pollution flawlessly, making them perfect for city gardens. They thrive in average soils with a pH of 6.0 to 8.0 and really just need about 4 to 5 hours of sunlight to flourish. Once they're established, they're incredibly drought tolerant. But here's the craziest part. They boast extreme cold resilience. These semi-evergreens have survived brutal freezes dropping down to minus 12 degrees Fahrenheit. They just lose their leaves and bounce right back. To really wrap your head around its vigor, you've got to hear this real-life cautionary tale from a Huz forum user who actually tried to remove a ligustrum. They noted having to literally chain the plants up to their pickup truck and almost pulled up their sewer lines in the process. Whew! So, the massive takeaway here, when you plant ligustrum, you are making a serious long-term commitment. Its root system is fiercely strong and highly competitive. Moving right along to section 2, step-by-step planting, setting the foundation. Now, if you're taking notes, write down this magic number, 2.5. See, ligustrum isn't super picky about its soil, but it absolutely hates soggy, suffocating roots. So before you plant anything, do a quick drainage test. Dig a 12-inch by 12-inch hole, fill it with water, and let it drain. Fill it up again and time it. What you want is for the water level to drop at a rate of about 2.5 centimeters, or 1 inch, per hour. If it's draining slower than that, you're probably dealing with heavy clay, and you'll definitely need to amend the soil or build a raised mound to prevent root rot. When you're ready to order your plants, whether they're bare roots or in containers, here's another golden number for you. You need 8 to 10 plants per linear meter. Now, to get that truly impenetrable, solid wall look, don't just plant them in a single straight line. Nope. You need to plant them in a staggered double row pattern, often called a checkerboard pattern. Just keep those lines spaced about 20 to 30 centimeters apart, and that guarantees incredible density. All right, the actual planting process. Following these steps precisely is absolutely crucial. First, if you buy bare root plants, soak those roots in water for a full 24 hours just to wake them up. Next is honestly the hardest part for beginners. You have to ruthlessly trim the stems down to just 15 to 20 centimeters right after planting. I know it hurts to chop them down, but this forces the plant to branch out at the base, completely preventing a bare bottom later on. Then plant them in a 25 to 30 centimeter wide and deep trench, backfill it, tamp the soil firmly to remove any air pockets, and give it a really deep watering. Section 3. Secrets of a dense hedge. Mastering the cut. Okay, so the single biggest mistake beginners make is cutting their hedge into a perfect blocky square. You actually must use a technique called pyramid pruning. Basically, you have to maintain the base of the hedge wider than the top. Think about it. If the top is too wide, it casts a giant shadow over the bottom leaves. And without enough sunlight, those lower branches will simply die off, leaving you with ugly, bare, leafless, woody stems at the bottom of your privacy screen. Because ligustrum grows at such a rapid pace, you really have to stay on top of it. Stick to this timeline for the best results. Do your main heavy structural shaping in the spring, around April or May. Then, as it just explodes with growth over the summer in June and July, give it maintenance cuts every 4 to 6 weeks. And here's a pro tip. Never let the new growth extend more than 5 or 6 centimeters past the previous cut. Finally, in autumn, around September, give it some light cosmetic touch-ups before it goes dormant. And hey, if your hedge ever gets totally out of hand, never be afraid to cut deep. As forum user Razorback33 hilariously points out, you can get out the chainsaw, a sturdy stepladder, and just butcher it amidst neighborhood disputes. Hack it to within an inch of its life, and Ligustrum will literally just bounce back thicker and with renewed vigor. Seriously, it actually loves a hard pruning. Section 4. Pest control. Protecting your green wall. Even though it's tough as nails, you still need to watch out for a few natural enemies. Catching issues early is the key to maintaining that flawless green aesthetic. If you start seeing brown or purple spots and yellowing leaves, that's leaf spots, or cercospora. You'll want to clear away any fallen leaves and apply a myclobotanil fungicide. If you spot a white powdery coating on the leaves, that's powdery mildew. Fix this by thinning the branches for better airflow and applying colloidal sulfur. And finally, if you see tiny webs and dry, bronzing leaves, you've got spider mites. Wet the foliage regularly to deter them, or apply a targeted acaricide. And finally, Section 5, Vital Tips and Regulations. Final considerations. Before you start digging, please keep this crucial disclaimer in mind. Always check your local agricultural and zoning regulations before planting. Because this plant is so vigorously resilient and spreads easily, often eaten by birds eating its berries and scattering seeds, it is actually classified as an invasive weed in several southern climates. You want a privacy screen, not an ecological disaster in your local neighborhood. So, armed with this seed to screen masterclass, you now know exactly how to select, plant, prune, and protect the ultimate living fence. I'll leave you with this one final question to ponder. Are you ready to wield the shears and tame the aggressive Ligustrum into a masterpiece, or will you let its roots conquer your yard first? The choice and the chainsaw are in your hands. Thanks for joining this explainer, and happy planting.